Hey, you made it. My name's Brent. This is another guitar hang with another Telecaster. Tele number 2. Yeah, that's right. 2 Telecasters. This one it's a great Telecaster. This is a Vintera 50s Telecaster. So this is a Mexican-made Telecaster that is supposed to be closer to the vintage spec of the 50s. It's kind of, I think the Vintera series, they do kind of a certain period of time, so like 50s to 60s. So you'll kind of get mix and match like things from 50s Telecasters. This guitar, the biggest thing that I think is kind of period correct in what I hear about a lot of Telecasters is that you need a big, thick, chunky neck, and that's what this thing is. This is a kind of baseball bat-ish type neck, the kind of D shape. It is a thicker neck than any of my other guitars, and what's interesting is it's a much thicker neck this way, and then the frets on this have to be like skinny, medium skinny. I couldn't even tell you exactly what size fret wire this is, but it is much smaller than what I'm used to on any of my guitars, which has been interesting. I kind of talked about the other Telecaster kind of being the really good guitar for chords and stuff, and this one does it even better. It's kind of like, it's a little bit, it's hard to describe this one, but it's got a little bit lighter strings on it. It's in half step down, so E flat. I did actually try selling this guitar at one point, and I was gonna get rid of it, but nobody like really kind of wanted it for the price that I was selling it at. Nobody said anything, and since then I've kind of decided that I think I want to keep it, but we'll see. It might end up going at some point. But this one, yeah, I got it in half step down. This one's got 9s on it, so they're also like the lightest set of strings I have on a guitar. Also, so with this Telecaster, you're getting a single ply pick guard. They're flat pull piece in this bridge, versus my other Telecaster with the staggered pulls. Brass saddles. Yeah, pretty bare bones. It does have like the classic style tuners on it. Also, one of the big things on this one is that the truss rod is in here, the truss rod adjustment. So they put like a fake dot up here. You can kind of see where like the truss rod usually is on most guitars, but it's either filled in or, yeah, they must just use like normal Fender necks and like fill that in or something, which actually looks kind of cool. Little teardrop shape up there. I haven't had to adjust this neck. I mean, it probably could use it, but I'm not really gonna pull it all apart to adjust it. So we'll cross that bridge when it's a little bit more vital. This is more of a I'm not using this every band practice or anything for no regard. I'm just kind of using it as like a learning device. So if I have a song that's in half step down that I want to learn, I've been using this for it. I am considering, compared to the Jason Isabel Telecaster that I have, I feel like the pickups in this are a little bit hotter and beefier than the Jason Isabel Telecaster. So part of me, like, I might try putting thicker strings on this guitar and trying this one versus the other one. I think for a rock sound, this one might do a little bit better of a job. The Jason Isabel one is a great guitar. I just don't know if it's gonna do what I want it to do as far as high gain, but I'm still doing a lot of experiments, and we'll kind of go through some of that stuff as I come to it and as I'm comparing it and looking at what guitar I'm gonna kind of focus on for a while. I would like to kind of minimalize my setup. I wouldn't say I have a ton of stuff, but I mean, obviously we're going through, this is my 6th guitar now, so I have 6 guitars. Would like to kind of get everything down to like a few guitars and have like the amp set up and everything that I want and be able to make all the sounds that I want. And then I just want to live with that for a long time and get really used to it and good at it. But so yeah, one thing about these guitars, and also, so like I figured this would be kind of a good modding platform too, if I wanted to try any different stuff out or any cool new things. So I did. I have modded this where I've taken the neck pickup out of the tone knob circuit. So this tone knob only affects the bridge pickup. So really, when these guitars were designed and made in the 50s, the neck pickup was like kind of, they didn't have electric basses yet. It was only stand-up acoustic basses, like those big one, tall ones that people stood next to. So when these guitars kind of first came out, when they first came out, they just had a bridge pickup. And then they started putting a neck pickup in and labeling it as the bass pickup. So then you would kind of like, you would use the neck pickup if you were playing a bass part, and then you could roll some of the tone down and get kind of a faux bass type sound. So then kind of going forward, once there was an electric bass, this neck pickup has always been kind of seen as dark and kind of, it has that bass tone, jazzy kind of sound to it. So you can take it out of the tone circuit and that'll slightly brighten it up. Not much. It just kind of opens it up a tiny bit. Like, it's not even that noticeable, but it helps. Because then also what happens is that only the bridge pickup is attached to the tone knob, and this bridge pickup is kind of really bright and almost too harsh sometimes. So then you're able to kind of balance it out. You roll some of the tone down, you take some of the brightness out of the bridge pickup, and then the neck pickup will kind of match it in tone better. So I did that modification myself. I had to open this up and rewire it and do some soldering. So yeah, not much else to say about this guitar other than that. Yeah, 9 to 42s, half step down. It's a great guitar. It's a lot of fun. Every time I plug it in, I'm like, yeah, I think I think I'm gonna try to drop this one down. I think when I first got it, I did use it at one band practice, and I was kind of like, ooh, cool. And then, you just kind of move on and you try other stuff. But yeah, I think I'm gonna give it another try in the band context. Really cool guitar. All right, so any other things I want to talk about? Corbin and I had another practice last week. I've got both of my amps set up and kind of reworking some pedals on my pedal board. Got some things that I want to try out. I was, I had said that I've been listening to a lot of Tom Morello, like Audio Slave, kind of going back through their catalog. And I watched a rig rundown. If you're interested in guitars or guitar playing and want to learn about like the people that you're trying to emulate or learn from, there's a series by Premier Guitar called Rig Rundown, and they kind of show a guitar player all their gear. And so I was watching a Tom Morello rig rundown of kind of his gear and what he uses, and how he had just kind of decided one day that he got his Marshall amp set up, and he would spend hours and hours like trying to dial in a tone or match somebody's tone, and then one day he walked in and he decided that this was going to be the tone. And so he hasn't touched his amp since. And I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'll ever get to that point, but that's where I'm trying to kind of get. Like, I would like to get to a point where like I can say, okay, this is my core tone. Everything else is going to be based off of what I can do with this. And that's kind of a place I'm trying to get to. Maybe I have too many options already, but trying to get everything set up in a way and be happy with it, and then not have to change it for a long time, and be able to really explore all of the sounds that I can make with the tools that I already have, instead of being distracted by going and buying new things. A lot of that is just to try to save money for a while too. Buying new things and being inspired by new pedals is also something I enjoy, but for now, for a while, I would like to kind of cool it on buying new stuff and use the stuff that I have, figure out what it is that I really want to sound like, what things can help me achieve that the best, and not necessarily get rid of the other things, but kind of draw a line of like, okay, this is my thing for the band. I think personally myself, I'm just so interested in so many other styles of music and other sounds. I think of like Jason Isbell, and it's really worth a good conversation, and one I'd really like to have with him is that he seems so able to go from so many different instruments. Like, he is constantly changing instruments in the middle of a set, and it kind of blows my mind. One guitar will, like, I will almost want to reach down and reset my pedals for a different guitar. But he is able to just kind of pick up each guitar and use that guitar for what it does best. And that's kind of where I'm trying to get. I want to understand each guitar and what it really does well, and then use that guitar for that situation. Which is hard. It's hard to kind of spend enough time, it does take spending enough time with each instrument and really learning the ins and outs of it to get there. But that's the goal. That's the journey. That's why we're making these videos together. So if you like this and you like learning about guitar gear and want to go on this journey with me, I think, you know, each guitar player is different and they have different gear. I think it's going to be a lot of fun going through a lot of the Vox stuff. You know, I've spent 3 to 4 years with my AC-15, and people say that they're good amps and that you should buy them and use them a lot, but I feel like I don't see a lot of videos and I don't see a lot of content around that style of amp. So I just think it'll be good place for people to go and hear about my experiences and my setup, and it's gonna be sweet. Yeah, so that's gonna do it for this week. This week's Guitar Hang. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, thanks. Have a good night. Peace.